My 9th grade journal says, I think I love Colin Rogers. After being the girl next door for years, he finally grew up and realized he loved me too. 25 years of marriage, 5 beautiful, amazing kids, and a daughter-in-law later. I love him more than I ever knew I could. Though 25 years of marriage does not make me a marriage expert, if you talk to my husband, he will let you know that it's because of our experience together that I understand my job. That, along with the counseling program here at MSU, the training that I've had with that, my experience with work and life, I have found tools that are helpful for relationships and communication and having relationships last. Many couples come into my office in crisis mode, feeling it's too late for them, that they have nowhere to go. Many also leave with hope and fulfillment, that there is a place to go. Did I mention in our time together they found perfection? I did not. So if you think that a relationship needs perfection, I would encourage you to find a TED Talk on changing your expectations. It is because of these couples that I tried to compile a list. I've taken other theorists, my experience and training, and put together things that show that we can be set up. They've asked, why is there nothing out there that sets me up for this? So here's some tools that if we take them and invest them in our relationship, that we can have a long-lasting, happy relationship. The first tool is the longest because it sets an entire foundation, and as you listen to the other tools, you'll find a thread of this running through them. So bear with me on this one for a moment. It's expanding on the Gottman's idea of creating and providing a safe space for your partner. This space is trying to get it so that when your person comes to you, they feel safe, they feel accepted, they can talk to you about anything. If you're able to talk to someone about anything, you need a place free of tone, negative facial expression, and judgment. Imagine that conversation. No tone, no judgment, no negative facial expression. There's feelings of acceptance in that. When you're able to give that to your person, the next piece of it is to ask questions about each other. Help me understand you. This help me understand you isn't, I'm going to adopt your opinion. It's, I want to understand you well enough to show that I accept you in our differences. The next piece of this is to be able to go into active listening skills. Validate and reflect your partner. When we validate our partner, it brings down the defenses. When our defenses are down, we're able to sit in a conversation longer. This is us trying to understand where they are and help them understand that we're doing our best to see how they feel. The reflect piece can feel a little bit unnatural because it's repeating what our person says, but it's amazing because it will sidestep so many fights. How many times have you been in a fight? You said this. No, I didn't. Yes, you did. The reflection just helps sidestep that. Once we get those into place, the next piece of the safe space is an over-communication. You're feeling accepted. You're okay to feel to be different in this space, so over-communicate. If you need a safe space, it may be because you've been shoving things down for so long and not sharing, that it's time to open up and share. Number 2, once you get number 1 down, you can move on to really getting to know your person. I emphasize really because it's a thing. Like I said before, we've been married 25 years, and about halfway into this adventure, I had been baking cheesecake for every event surrounding my husband for the last 10 plus years at that point. Why? We've known each other since we were 12 and 14, and I really know my person. So, cheesecake was his favorite, so I was making it all the time because I'm a great wife. And one day, him and the kids were talking, chatting, and doing stuff there in the background. And much to my dismay, he says to one of the kids, though I do like cheesecake, it's not my favorite. I was like, excuse you? Now, I didn't say that out loud, because at that time I was a super avoider of any confrontation and a master stuffer of all things. So this was in my head. I was angrily like, what the heck do you mean cheesecake's not your favorite? I've been making you cheesecake this whole time because it's what you wanted, so I was doing it for you. I was the one giving the favor. And then I was like, What is my favor? My favor was one of assuming, that I assumed I knew my person. That was a piece of humble pie or cheesecake for me. To realize that I'd known him so long that I thought I knew him. We had stopped asking questions and stopped trying to find out if we still knew each other and changed in all those years. We probably were really great at that point, moving right along with all of our kids being little, but I don't know if it would have stayed that way. So to help really get to know your person, that's enhancing what the Gottmans call enhancing your love maps. Keep questioning, keep talking, keep asking, keep going to the places of knowing your person. I might have known him since I was 12, but I still find out new things about him. Think pillow talk, long trips, kind humor, keep talking. Number 3, be with each other in vulnerability. This only works if you're okay with number 1 and number 2, so get those down, because we aren't willing to be vulnerable with someone we're not safe with. If we are safe, the things that we share with someone that are vulnerable, they'll be held sacred, and we know that. It won't be held against us later or used as ammo or held over our head. It's safe. Brene Brown's research speaks to the fact that as humans, we're wired to connect. I look at the proof of that, and I think of all the stories and poems and songs that have been written over the years. How many of them are about connection? Either the joy in connection or the pain in disconnect. It's got to be a huge percentage. That's how important it is to us. If you take a second and think about the person you're most connected to, it's most likely the person you're most vulnerable with. Is it your partner? If not, what can you do to make them that person? Number 4, talk kindly about each other. Whether your person's with you or not, talk kindly. Have you ever been in a group of people and somebody starts to talk negatively or bad about a person and you're like, it's uncomfortable, like, I don't know if I'm supposed to be here. I can easily say, I think I hear my kids calling. Talk positive, because the people around can feel that. And if they can feel it, so can your partner. So find opportunities to talk positive. Number 5, boundaries. I've watched successful couples hold boundaries around their relationships. They'll say no to people because it's healthy for the relationship. They'll take information that they have within their history together and create traditions and put boundaries around that. It can be something tiny like during breakfast, no one looks at their phone, just focuses on each other. You pick up your phone during the day just to send a text or call to say I'm thinking about you. To a dedicated, specific date night that's a priority for both of you. I love seeing seasoned couples out because you know they've been out like 5,000 times. But here they are again, hanging out. They're the hashtag relationship goals. I think they're super cute. That's a really good goal for all of us. Number 6, love languages. Do you know your love language? If not, it's pretty fun to check out Gary Chapman's 5 love languages and figure it out. There's acts of service, quality time, gifts, physical touch, and acts of service, time, and touch. Thank you. So with those, imagine you're working like crazy. You're working, your person wants this project done, so you've been doing all of this work, really focused on it. As you're working, you notice your person's totally ticked off at you. And you don't know why. But because you know the safe space, you're able to go to your person and communicate in the safe space. You ask them what's wrong, and they are super sad because you've not been spending time with them. So their love language might be acts of service, while your love language might be acts of service, while their love language might be quality time. You've both been trying to say you love each other, but until you understand what each other's love languages is, what each other's love languages are, you don't know that they are saying that. Number 7, go to bed upset sometimes. I know there's this really staunch belief that you should never go to bed angry, and sometimes it's true. But other times, it's okay to sleep on it. It will be a rough night's sleep, But the next morning, something that seemed really big and heavy the previous night actually doesn't seem as big, and we can get through it easier. So it's okay to give space to that. Whether it's that night or the next morning, when you're in confrontation, remember, it's not your partner's job to fix you. It's no one's job to fix us or make us be a certain way. When we charge our person with the responsibility to make us happy, we just took all of our power, shoved it in a box, basically put a bow on it, and handed it to them and said, make me be however you want me to be. That's not okay. That's actually trapping our person because they can never sustain that. And we just made sure to trap them and fail ourselves within the relationship. This isn't saying we're not affected by our person, because we are. But when we're affected by them, what we do with that is ours, not theirs. So we need to take responsibility back onto ourselves for what we're feeling. They can't make us be a certain way unless we give that power to them. Number 9, in these confrontations, remember you're not always right. If we can pause, just pause in confrontation, it will be huge. We can look at the situation from different angles. I have a pillow in my office that sometimes I'll hold up when I'm working with couples and I'll ask them to describe it. What they're describing is beautiful, beautiful colors, patterns, but I'm looking at the pillow and they're wrong. So when I start to describe the pillow, they think I'm wrong. And then I flip the pillow, and we realize no one was wrong. That they were describing their experience in the same space, but I was describing my experience in the space. It's not about being right or wrong, but if we had dug our heels in and fought because we knew we were right, it wouldn't have been a safe place for a relationship to be. So there is a need to pause and look at the experience from all the angles, to hear your person, to create safety, and to allow them to share that and try to understand them in kindness so that you can move forward in trust in the relationship. It's starting to show that you trust that they're giving you the correct story when you're someone that needs to be your way. Number 10, partner your partner, don't parent your partner. I've noticed when people come in and one of the partners is parenting the other, the one being parented often finds their voice and pushes back hard. We don't like to be told what to do. We don't like to be bossed and belittled. So if we go back to the safe space and think of communicating in more of an equal, it's that tone, it's the acceptance. It's showing we love and care about that person and that we trust them. When we parent, it's because we're trying to teach someone something. But instead of trying to teach a person, have them be an equal and a teammate and grow together. This also goes for when we're parenting, not to parent our partner while they're parenting. Whether it's 2-legged kids or 4-legged kids, or if you move it into how infuriating it can be to watch them load a dishwasher or fold towels. That might have come from years of growth experience in our relationship. But what I learned in that is how beautiful it can be to let go of expectation. If my expectation is to have something done a certain way, why am I trying to make it something they have to do? Can I then trust that the way they do it is okay? And if not, then why am I not doing it instead of putting the pressure on them to do it the way I want them to do it? When we step back and let people make choices, it allows for them to know we trust their choice. They might not do it the way we do it, but there's more than one way to do things right. Number 11, wherever you are, be there. Have you ever had a full-on conversation with somebody and they leave and you realize you don't know actually what they said and where they're staying or going, and you couldn't repeat what just happened? That speaks to the fact that wherever we are, we aren't there. If someone comes in, put your phone down, turn the TV off, give attention to them, what they're saying. This doesn't mean that every time someone walks in, you have to drop what you're doing. What it does mean is that you can say, hey, I want to hear what you have to say, give me just a minute. But if you say that, be sure you're circling back. Because if you're not, you're telling someone you're going to be there for them, and then you're not, and it breaks the trust. And that's what we're trying to do, is build that trust up. So wherever you are, focus on that person and be there. Number 12, know you too. This whole journey I just talked about is about relationships. But it's hard to be in a relationship if you don't know yourself, because then you really are taking on someone else's definition of you and expecting them to fulfill things for you. Find your hobbies and your talents and enjoy them. It fills us and helps us feel proud and successful and progressive. Help your person find their talents and support them in that. And then when you're gone from each other doing those things, you can even miss each other and want to get back together. If we charge our person with fulfilling our every need, we've set them up for failure again. They can't be everything to us. We need to do that for ourselves and not put so much responsibility on them, because that will break them too. Some people have asked why none of the 12 steps that I just went through are about physical intimacy. I've noted in my office that as emotional intimacy grows, physical intimacy follows, and vice versa. So almost every one of these steps can be applied to physical intimacy. If you take all the things we just talked about and move it over to physical intimacy, it's awesome. Think about physical intimacy. No tone, no judgment, no negative facial expression. Help me understand you. Over-communicate your emotional and physical needs. Get to know each other in a way you don't, because you're willing to talk about it and it's safe. You can be vulnerable. You put boundaries around it. It's super, super awesome to be able to grow in a way that you haven't otherwise, because you're applying these tools. This talk could have been on a lot of things that come into my office, or things that are close to my heart. Parenting, interracial families, our seemed dislike of conversations with people that are different than us right now. But I chose this because it can help all of those. If we think about the power that we have individually and put that into the relationship with these tools, it starts here, and then it grows to our households, and those relationship tools grow to the playground, and then to our cultural communities and work, and maybe even our social communities. So we have this power that's small, but it can have an effect on huge. It's hard to change. If it wasn't, we would all be where we want to be all the time. It's hard to apply these tools. I know the tools and I get it wrong sometimes. Keep trying though, it's worth it. You don't have to be married to apply these tools. You only need to have someone to be in a relationship with to say, I want to try this, I want to try these tools. Because if you take these tools and you learn them and you invest them, you will see a change in your relationship for the better. Thank you.